Hello everyone and welcome back to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing volume 3 of the Haikyu series. So this is a sports manga. It is following the adventures of a young boy named Hinata who wants to become a volleyball star, and he was inspired because he saw this very short for volleyball boy playing volleyball very well at the high school nationals, and he thought, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. I want to be able to play volleyball like that. He's a pretty short individual, short for volleyball, where height is considered kind of important, and therefore he makes it his dream to play volleyball. So he's made it to high school. This is volume 3 of this series, so if you want to read volume 1 and 2 and you don't want to be spoiled for what happens in volume 2, maybe don't watch this. But basically through volumes 1 and 2 he winds up going to high school, and he gets put on the team of his middle school rival. Now in middle school he was the only person on his team. The only reason he was able to play one game is because he convinced some of his friends to join him and play against a much better school, as in any school that had a real team, and he immediately lost. But he's determined to beat this boy, and they wind up going to the same high school. Ta-da! So now they're on their high school team together, and they're learning how to work together as a team because they actually their strengths work really well together. They just have to learn to work together as a team, especially those two. So that's volume 1 and 2, but at the end of 2, they've played a practice game and they kind of know as a team where they need to improve, particularly in getting a little bit more strength and experience on the team. And they discover that there are some players who have either not come back to the volleyball team or have been suspended. So this volume is more or less just getting those additional players back on the team, convincing them to rejoin the volleyball team, and prepping for their practice game against a very tough school that's coming up. So they are going to have a practice game against, like I said, a very tough high school, well, very tough, a former rival of the high school before they both kind of cease to, I guess, be big players on the volleyball stage. They used to be rivals, and they're going to play against them in a practice game, but they want to practice and prep and get these other players who were really good but have since left the volleyball club back on the team. So the first one on the cover is Nishinoya, and he is the libero. So in volleyball, the libero is a defensive specialist. And take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. I played volleyball for a little bit. I did not play with libero because we were like in 5th grade and they were not introducing that stuff to us. We had our hands full of figuring out how to rotate. I remember 5th grade volleyball. It was interesting. Everything I know about the libero is from watching the Olympic Games, because the commentators explain everything to me. And this book does explain stuff to you, so if you're like, well, I don't know anything about volleyball, they do try to like work it into the story. Like they're going to explain how things work and how they can rotate in and out of the game. So if you have no experience with volleyball, I don't think that precludes you from being able to enjoy this series. They do kind of explain this to you. He is a defensive specialist. That's the role of the libero. They kind of go in to be defensive. I don't know how to say it. So they're saving balls when they come over the net, and they're not allowed to make like attacks. Like they can't, I guess, spike it over the net, or I think they said they can't play anything over like the height of the net. So they're kind of stuck in this defensive position, but they're able to keep the ball in play and able to give their team another opportunity to get points, which is kind of a gap in their team. And so this is about getting him back. And then it's there's another individual named Asahi. He's actually, they don't show his face, but he's this guy back here. He's a very tall, I think he's one of their wing spikers. He also hasn't come back to the volleyball team. So Nishinoya has been suspended for the team for a week because of, I guess, aggressive behavior, and now he's coming back. And Hinata is very inspired because he's shorter than him. And he's like, well, if he can play, then I can play. And we also have Asahi, I think that's his name, who basically has kind of lost his love for the sport, and Hinata works really hard to make sure that him and their new wing spiker, or their previous wing spiker, is going to come back and join the team so they can have a successful practice game against in the next volume. So this book also kind of hints at how the practice game is going to go. It kind of hints at some of the people you're going to meet in the next volume, and it also kind of this is like a team building volume. It's about let's get everyone on the team, let's get everyone back together, let's work together, and let's see how things are going to go. So this is a volume that kind of sets up for volume 4. I actually checked out volume 4 at the same time and read them back to back, which I think you should do with, so 1 and 2 I feel like read really well together, and now 3 and 4 I think read really well together, so I'm glad I checked them out. So that would just be my one recommendation for this for volume 3 is get volume 4 and read them back to back. I feel like it just makes more sense, and it kind of has a cohesive flow because volume 3 sets up volume 4. I wound up giving this a 4-star. I'm really enjoying this series. I like it. I like Hinata's passion for volleyball. I like how the manga flows. I feel like it goes really well. I feel like there's funny moments, there's serious moments, there's passionate moments, and I really enjoy all of it. So if you like anything that I've been saying, maybe give Haikyu a read. Other than that, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching.